Well, it's been great breeding my own birds this year, but therein lies the problem. I've only got 12 pairs, so even though the birds lay 2 eggs each, they aren't all guaranteed to be fertile. So if I want a race team of a similar size to the one I had last season, I'm going to have to buy some more birds in. Having somehow managed to win a race in my first year, I deduced this was likely down to the quality of the birds, not me. So I did what anyone would do and went back to the source to get some more, and paid a visit to my new mate, Dave. The 2 S-rings are Archies, because he's having a team of 6 this year. Which ones do you, obviously haven't hatched yet, but have you got any in mind that you think would be good for some of these Thurso and Fraserburgh, and you know, Thurso was the furthest one, isn't it, realistically?
It's just short 400 miles.
For those that don't know, and I'm probably one of them, fanciers will select their birds depending on the races they want to target. Bloodlines are chosen depending on their record for short races, which are called sprint, middle distance, or long distance marathon races.
It's bred the 2nd Scottish National at 500 miles, a 3rd Scottish National, all sorts. But it's just because they've bred 1 or 2, don't mean to say they're all going to do the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I see this tail.
Oh yeah, what's happened there? Somebody pulled them out. Or?
I did.
Oh, what?
But it flew straight at my face, and I just grabbed him like that, and it flew off, and I got his tail.
Dear.
Any pigeon in this place should fly 10 hours.
Yeah.
Perhaps not so much the ducks, although I ain't tried them yet.
Yeah.
But they are out and out sprinters, really.
Yeah. 2 of your finest stock pigeons, because they're my North Road rings.
Right.
Right.
Hold on.
They're, you might, they're separate. I've tied them separate, you see.
Yeah.
And so, with my order placed, I left the life rings with Dave and reversed all the way home, ready for another first in my racing career, a Futurity race auction. Do you want to buy a pigeon, Jazz?
Yeah, there's one that I want to buy, but not this season.
I'm not actually bidding on any of these birds. I just want to see how it works, ready for when we put ours in, but also if we want to buy anybody else's. Right, who have we got? Oh, missed loads. Shane Hanna. 20, 25, 30. 30 quid. 30 quid. What we're doing is peeking in on the NRCC Futurity auction, which is on WhatsApp. This is, come and have a look. This is basically the first lot of birds that people have bred. And these are the guys, the breeders, and these are the pigeons that they've reared. And they're going up for auction now on WhatsApp, on the WhatsApp group. And people will bid on them, and if you win it, then you get to take that bird, put it in your loft, train it up, ready for this flight, which is this race, which is in September, from Dunbar, I think it is. Is that what we said, Arch? Was it Dunbar? I think so. Yeah. We'll see how it works, because we've got 5 birds that are going to be entered into this, and hopefully, we'll see what happens, how much people pay, and you know, we're newbies, so nobody's probably going to be interested in our birds, but. Are you alright there, mate? You hungry? Who's going to start me off at £20? £20, let's see. It's the guy that bred it. I think that's what a lot of people do. What happens is, if you breed it, and that, because you have to have a special ring on it, if you breed that bird, and somebody else buys it, they race it, they train it up, and then they send it to race. And if it wins, the prize money gets split by the buyer, 50% breeder, 50% buyer. But if you buy your own bird back, you get 100% of the prize money. Any chance of another pancake?
Yes, please.
With each bird fetching an average of £64 and a prize pot already into the thousands, I fell asleep plotting my next move, and that motivation had me up bright and early the next morning. Right, here we are. I need to get some better grit and some more seedy food for breeding. A few people had asked what I was feeding my birds, and I had the feeling I was being judged. So after spending more money on yet another pigeon feed mix, I couldn't wait to see what goodies were in it. If the price was anything to go by, I expected the bag to be 10% wheat, 90% cocaine. This is the breeding mix I've just bought, and I've got to be honest, I don't really know that much about feeding. See if I can show you. I assumed there'd be more seeds, smaller seeds in it for the young birds, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't, to be honest. You know, looking at this, I don't know what's protein. Well, I know these. I think these are protein. The peas are protein. But for everything else, I mean, I don't really know, and I probably should look into it a little bit more so that I can work out what I should be feeding the birds. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it at that. But I should probably get a book. I'll get a book on. Yeah, I'll get a book. I'll get a book on how to feed them properly. I mean, I haven't got a book on how to feed my kids properly. Yeah, chicken nuggets, chips and peas. Earlier, Archie had nonchalantly asked after the squeakers, and whilst I think he was only being polite, I took the opportunity to talk at him for 20 minutes about the pigeons.
Very spiky.
And spiky?
Yeah, like, not like fluffy fur, like.
Yeah, not yet. But they've just got to get used to you, see? So they keep seeing your face and they see your hands, and you can pick them up if you want. Can you pick one up?
I forgot how to do it.
I'll show you.
Is it one?
You don't. No, it's not quite the same with these because they're so small.
Yeah.
That's it. And then you hold it from the top if you want to put it back. If you don't want to drop it. So that's yours, box 4. They're both your racing pigeons. And they'll grow quicker than you realise, Archie. Because look at this. They're yours only hatched a couple of days after this one. I mean, this one's on its own, so.
What?
Giant.
Massive.
You can stroke him. This is 1983's baby and 1998's. So this one should be good, hopefully. Well, we don't know for sure, do we? But its mum came second in the federation, and its dad came third in 2 federation races. So high hopes for that one. After that, I had to make a quick video for the How to Train Your Pigeon Facebook page, showing how quickly my tiny little pigeons were turning into constant reminders that my loft needed finishing. Now, the problem here is I'm putting these grids down, and they're about 80mm, 2.5 inches, something like that, which means the overall height of the loft feels reduced, and so my head might bang the roof. Oh, Having predicted the knock to my noggin and yet still failing to prevent it, I thought it best to remove the grills and carry on building. In the next loft. here's the loft. Looks pretty good, I think. A few things that I would like to have done differently. I wish I hadn't have put those nails in that front strip. I've nailed it underneath as well. And I could have just put a load of clout nails under there rather than these ones, so I might put a bit of trim there just to hide that. Also, the mesh that I've used here isn't quite tall enough for the top, so I'm going to put another piece of wood just to block that that gap off there. I need another latch, so I've just screwed this on for now, but this works quite good. Falls forward, but that folds down like that, and then I can also slide my boxes on there if I need to when I'm training them. This one I just put a little bit of a backstop so it doesn't go all the way back. I might do the same on the other one, which looks quite nice. And then I've used some lats in there with gaps so I can scrape that down and get access to it. And then yeah, it looks pretty good. I've had to make a temporary door at the moment, which is just a piece of ply, because I need to get a slider for this top. I've just cut that out with I banged my head on it before, so I just cut it out with a jigsaw. And then I've got some trim to put on the side there, a sliding door for that part there, because this one bangs there. I've got two little squeakers in there. I put in one of the hens just to sort of show them the ropes, and the hen took a bath in the drinker, so I need to dry that out now. And then inside here needs completely sorting. I've just put some perches up, but I'm going to get some box perches for them along the back. I'm going to partition that wall off there and have a sliding door in the middle. So, and I need to dry this up because she's obviously had a bath, and you can see how level it is because all the water's run to the back, so I'm not doing a great job of that, but all in all I think this will be fine. These windows here I need to fit in properly, so I'll just take probably another afternoon's work. I'll put a hole in there so they can get access, but I'm going to turn these into sliders so I can slide the two on the end in, and the middle one will be fixed permanently, and then I'll have the trap on here to come in through the above the aviary. So some mesh for the top here. There's a 2-inch gap, so we don't get any things like weasels and stoats and stuff here, but just to be safe I think I'm going to put some mesh along the top there. I've got the gap at the back, same kind of thing for ventilation, and I've got some vents that I can put in at the front and at the back as well. So I'm not going to do that right now because we've got 2 weeks of really cold weather coming up. Perfect time for weaning them, isn't it? And then I'll also put a window in the door for now. Might put one in here, I'm not sure, but I want it to be, they'll go on darkness, so I need it to be simple enough to darken down, which I didn't do last year. But well, the loft is almost ready, which is good news because I've got some birds coming from Dave and some birds coming from Charlie, but I've also got a kit of young birds coming from the Duttons in Birmingham, and next week I'm going to Belgium to pick up some more young birds from a fancier there that's a follower of the channel, so I'm quite excited to see how that goes. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and you'll get a notification next week to see the updates on that. Ooh, love that, don't you? Ugh.